It was just after midnight on June 3rd, 2016, when Lisa Donnelly checked into room 9 at the Driftwood Motel, a rundown one-story lodge off Highway 17 in South Carolina. She was traveling alone, heading from Charleston to visit her sister in Asheville. Her reservation was last minute, made through a roadside app. She paid in cash. The clerk, half asleep and watching a small TV behind the desk, remembered her as polite, tired-looking, wearing a dark green jacket and carrying a backpack. By morning, Lisa was gone. No checkout, no sighting. Room 9 was empty except for her jacket on the bed, a half-drunk bottle of water, and a motel key still in the lock. Her car, a silver Honda Civic, remained in the lot. Her phone was under the pillow. No note, no struggle, no signs of forced entry. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. The motel staff waited until noon before knocking. When she didn't answer, they entered. By 3 p.m., the police had arrived. A missing person report was filed, and by the next morning, the small local station had passed it on to state authorities. Lisa, 29, was a paralegal. Quiet life. No criminal record. No known enemies. The Driftwood Motel was known for its budget rates and string of unsavory guests. Drugs, runaways, and the occasional fugitive weren't new to the place. But a clean disappearance? That was different. Detective Mark Howell of the Horry County Sheriff's Office took lead. He visited the motel in person. Room 9 was preserved. Nothing broken, no signs of violence. But something was off. The bed had been slept in, but the sheets had no skin cells. Not a single usable print on the doorknob, the faucet, or the bottle. Forensics described the room as sterile, unnaturally clean. Howell requested security footage. The Driftwood had 2 cameras, one at the front desk, one facing the parking lot. At 12:13 a.m., Lisa is seen walking to her room. At 12:18, the light in room 9 flickers on. At 1:03 a.m., it shuts off. Then nothing. No one is seen entering or exiting room 9. Not until the clerk checks it at noon. Lisa Donnelly was officially declared missing on June 6. Her family flew in from Georgia. Her sister, Rachel, was devastated. Lisa had texted her at 11:32 p.m. the night before she vanished. "Almost there. Room smells like old cigarettes. Lowell, see you tomorrow." It was the last anyone heard from her. The car was clean, no blood, no trace of struggle, glove box intact. Her ID and credit cards were all still inside. Then came the motel guest logs. Howell noticed something strange. The name listed under room 7, right next to Lisa's, was blank. No ID scanned, no signature. The clerk said he remembered someone. Male, mid-40s, baseball cap, paid in cash, didn't talk much. Surveillance footage from the front desk showed only his back. But room 7 was never entered again. And when police finally opened it, 2 days after Lisa's disappearance, they found it stripped. No linens, no toiletries, no fingerprints. Only a single object sat in the corner of the room, a disposable Polaroid photo, face down. When investigators turned it over, their stomachs dropped. It was a picture of a woman, blindfolded, tied to a chair, terrified. The timestamp at the bottom read, June 3rd, 2016, 0106 a.m. The woman in the photo was Lisa Donnelly. The discovery of the Polaroid shifted the case from a disappearance to a probable abduction. The image was grainy, taken in what looked like a basement or storage room. Bare walls, a single overhead bulb casting shadows across Lisa's face. Forensic analysts scanned the photo for digital clues, but being analog, it offered little in terms of metadata. However, the timestamp matched the exact minute the lights in room 9 turned off. FBI was now involved. Special Agent Marcia Hill from the Behavioral Analysis Unit arrived 3 days later. Her assessment was chilling. The scene in the photo was staged, deliberately composed. "Whoever took this wasn't in a panic," she said. "They planned it." Hallwell revisited the front desk footage again. That's when he noticed a flicker, a strange pause in the frame just before 1:06 a.m. For 4 seconds, the video froze, then resumed. The motel's cheap surveillance system had overwritten portions of its memory, but someone had edited it manually. A tech specialist retrieved fragments from the hard drive. One frame, just one, showed the edge of a figure walking past the front desk hallway. White sneakers, a duffel bag, time code 1:07 a.m. From that point on, the case turned into a manhunt. The man from room 7 became the prime suspect. But there was no name, no fingerprints, and no real image. Just an outline and a guess. Then came the breakthrough. Lisa's phone was examined again. It had been found under her pillow, seemingly untouched. But the data revealed something odd. Her microphone had activated at 1:02 a.m., automatically triggered by a third-party safety app she'd installed. It had recorded a 43-second clip. Most of the audio was muffled, but two things were clear: a loud knock, then Lisa's voice, "Hello?" followed by silence, and then, faintly, a man's voice. "We spoke earlier." Lisa responds, uncertain. "What do you want?" A sound like a struggle begins. Then the clip ends. Whoever had entered that room came in silently and left without being seen. And yet, the tech trail, the photo, the erased footage, they all pointed to the same conclusion. Lisa had been taken by someone with experience. 2 months later, a second Polaroid appeared. It was mailed anonymously to a post office box in Charleston that had been set up as a tip line. Inside the envelope was no note, no return address, just another photo. Lisa, again. Same room, same chair. Only this time she looked straight into the camera, and behind her, drawn faintly in chalk on the wall, 3 numbers, 412. Detective Hallwell didn't sleep for nearly 2 days after the second Polaroid arrived. The numbers on the wall, 412, were the only new lead. Analysts debated their meaning: an area code, a time, a date. Theories flooded in from the public, but one stood out. An archivist from the Charleston Historical Society recognized the format from an old motel code system used in the 1980s. Some motels had marked basement storage units by room number and sequence. Hallwell called in building records. Turns out the Driftwood had undergone renovations in the early 1990s. The foundation blueprints revealed something overlooked in earlier searches: a sublevel. Room 4-12 wasn't on the guest list. It wasn't even on the modern floor plans. But it had once existed. The next morning, a full team returned to the motel. Beneath the west wing, through a narrow hallway sealed behind plaster decades ago, they found a rusted metal door, spray-painted on the concrete above it. 4-12. The lock had been recently replaced. SWAT opened it. Inside, concrete walls, a dangling bulb, old pipes, and the faint chemical odor of bleach. In the center of the room stood the same wooden chair seen in the photos. But Lisa wasn't there. The walls were scraped, faint chalk marks, camera tripod marks etched into the floor. Zip ties, duct tape, evidence bags were filled for hours. But Lisa was gone. Forensics recovered strands of hair, consistent with Lisa's DNA. No blood, no body. And in a shallow crack in the corner wall, someone had wedged a note. It was folded twice. Inside, in shaky writing, "He leaves during storms. He watches through mirrors. It was Lisa's handwriting, confirmed by her sister. The note shocked even Agent Hill. It suggested Lisa had been alive, held for weeks, maybe longer. The team interviewed every former employee of the Driftwood still alive. One name stood out: Charles Berman, former handyman. Worked during the 90s renovations, known for being odd but quiet, no criminal record. Moved to Tennessee in 2004, lived alone. Halwell and Hill drove out the next week. Berman lived in a trailer at the edge of the Cherokee Forest. No internet, no phone. Claimed he didn't remember Lisa or the Driftwood, but something felt wrong. Hill noticed his wall, covered in antique mirrors. She asked about them. Berman smiled. "I collect reflections," he said. A warrant was filed. In his shed, they found evidence: rope, Polaroid cartridges, a stack of labeled VHS tapes, dates, names, faces. One tape, dated June 3rd, 2016, had a simple label, LD9. It showed Lisa. She was alive, tied, blindfolded, pleading. The voice behind the camera was low, calm, instructing her. Most disturbing, he kept asking her to look at herself in a mirror placed directly in front of the chair. Then the tape cut. Berman was arrested. In custody, he confessed to observing people. "I never touched her. I only made her watch. She left when I wasn't looking." He refused to say where she went. A week later, police found a shallow grave behind a rest stop 60 miles away. Dental records confirmed it was Lisa Donnelly. She had died from dehydration, likely days after the second photo. No signs of blunt trauma, no fingerprints, only the number 412 carved faintly into a rock beside her. Berman was charged with kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and second-degree murder. At trial, he remained calm, said he was helping them see who they are. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The Driftwood Motel was shut down in 2018, demolished. A gas station stands there now. But every June 3rd, someone leaves a Polaroid of Lisa on the edge of the parking lot. To this day, no one knows who. On June 3rd, 2023, a teenage girl named Claire McCauley was walking her dog near the gas station that replaced the Driftwood Motel. She'd grown up hearing stories of the Motel Girl, a local legend to some, nightmare to others. That morning, she noticed something in the gravel by pump number 4, a Polaroid, new, crisp. This time it wasn't a photo of Lisa. It was a mirror, a handheld mirror, angled just right. The camera had caught its own reflection, but in the faint corner of the glass, barely visible, was the silhouette of a man in the background. When detectives enhanced the image, they found him watching from afar. No face, just the outline of someone standing where room 9 used to be. Charles Berman was still in prison. Whoever left the Polaroid wasn't him. And so the case remains closed, but not finished, because some shadows stretch farther than we expect, and some mirrors still reflect what was never caught.